Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and the creator of 3 Day Weekend System. And I'm so glad to be here each and every week. I do these auto shop success lives in 15 minutes, and I do them for a couple of reasons each week. One is for you to shift the way you look at your business or as a manager or a leader in a shop. I for you to shift that perspective. And the second reason is for you to be able to take action each and every week, implement something that will be a competitive edge. And I do this because I absolutely love the automotive industry. A lot of people ask me, who do I work with? And that's who I work with, single location auto shop owners. They're a group that is near and dear to me. They have a lot of grit and a lot of drive, but they come to me because a lot of time that's exactly what's holding them back at this point. They feel like they're consumed by their business. They're going 24/7 and they want to have a life without sacrificing their business. So that's where I come in and help. So this week, Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes, the topic is lighten the load as a leader. As leaders, and even if you don't think of yourself as a leader, there's a lot going on. Running an auto shop really, it's no joke. And I talk to auto shop owners from all over the country, and they have a very similar story. It's demanding, emotional, and sometimes even downright frustrating, right? And then when you add in the fact that your personal life doesn't stop, it doesn't pause for business challenges. It can really feel like you're always on edge. When you have that feeling that you have to be going 24/7, they tell me all the time. And you know what? I experienced it myself. My husband and I have owned a shop for 25 years. We're still owners. So I know what this is like. And the goal of this week's topic is to help you walk through it. So, one of the biggest mindset shifts to find that work life fulfillment, because that's what we're talking about here, is learning not to take things personally. And I know it's a habit. It's a habit that many owners, leaders, and managers find hard to break, even though it actually holds them back. It's very easy when something negative happens to take it personally and kind of go into that mode where we start whining, complaining, and blaming. And it's not a good place to be. When something happens, give yourself a few minutes to do that. But then you know what? Say to yourself, I have to snap out of it because it's not productive. When we internalize every complaint, problem, or mistake, it weighs us down, and it weighs your team down when you see them doing that. It affects how we lead, it affects how we live, and how we interact with the people that matter most. You know who they are, right? Letting go of this habit isn't just good for your peace of mind, it's actually good for long-term success and joy. So, why does this matter when you think about it, right? So, at work, if you take your team or customer frustrations personally, you'll react emotionally instead of leading with clarity. Taking things personally really creates emotional reactions. It damages trust and clouds leadership judgment. So I want to give you an example of this. A team member comes in or had been working for a while, and they turn around and they say something to you like, this place is a mess. It's easy to feel attacked, but it's often frustration about either their workload or maybe a process issue. Another example would be a customer yelling or being really frustrated about a repair taking too long, or maybe even a customer leaving a negative review. It could really be frustrations about their financial struggles, not really about the job. At home, carrying work stress home really builds tensions and disconnects you from your family. So, I want to give you an example of this. Snapping at your spouse or your kids because you're still replaying a difficult conversation at work. You know how that goes? You're driving home and you're thinking about it, and you get home, you're still replaying it. What could you have done? What could have been different? All of that. Why did the person act that way? Why did they say what they said? Right? So think about it. What was the last event that you were at? I'm talking about personal, that you were at, but you missed it because your mind was really somewhere else. You were there physically, but you weren't really present. You had other things on your mind, right? It happens all the time. And for you, taking everything personally puts you in a constant state of defense. And it's a really bad place to be, always in defense. And you're burning yourself out. So, this can really lead to sleep, eating, or even health issues. So, internalizing everything really leads to self doubt and feeling stuck. And here's the thing, you end up running on empty, constantly questioning if you're good enough in your role, no matter where, what you're doing. You question it. I don't want that to happen. And I know I talk to owners and they're dealing with it all the time. Maybe they won't say it out loud in a group, but one on one, this is what I've been hearing for decades. So I want to share with you a mindset shift, a different way of looking at it. And here's the big news, it's not about you, it never was. Most complaints or frustrations are about circumstances, not your character. So when you internalize them, you're carrying problems that aren't even yours. And this happens. It's human nature. So reframe criticism as an opportunity to lead and to grow rather than a personal attack. So I'm telling you, be the example. Consider that. Consider that. Think about that seriously. Be the example of for your team, for your customers, for your vendors and your suppliers, for even other shop owners or groups that you belong to. It's amazing how freeing that is. So I want to share with you today 3 steps that you can put into place to take action today, because you can listen to me. But the thing is here, the magic is in the doing. So the first thing, step 1, is pause before reacting. The next time someone criticizes or complains, stop and ask yourself, is this about me or is this about their situation? 9 times out of 10, it's not about you. Ever have a customer apologize for overreacting or taking their financial struggles out on you? It happened to us in my shop last week. My customer service rep came over to me and said, "You're not going to believe it. So and so called up and apologized." So sometimes people just need that breather. Number 2, look for the lesson. Instead of feeling attacked, ask yourself, what can I learn here? A tough conversation might highlight something to improve or even get some clarity on it. It's a way to set your business apart from others, giving you a competitive edge. So while most of your peers or the other shops, your competitors in your area, are getting frustrated or getting upset or blowing off steam, you can do things differently. And it really is a competitive edge. really helps you give yourself that competitive edge. So important. Number 3, detach your worth from your role. I speak with clients on this all the time. Remember, your value as a person isn't tied to being perfect as an owner, as a leader, as a partner, as a parent. No, mistakes and feedback are part of the process. They're not a reflection of your worth. So trust the journey. Let go of ego. That's a big one. And be willing to self assess. You are more than your role at work. So, what I suggest you do is list 3 of your best qualities. These are the good that others see in you. It's important to remember those, especially when you're feeling down, especially when you're doubting yourself. Detach your worth from your role. So, when you start practicing these steps, you'll notice a shift. Better emotional control at work leads to clear decisions. We don't make good decisions. We don't make valuable decisions that'll move us forward, whether it's personally or professionally, when we are not in control of our emotions. Usually we'll look back and go, yeah, I kind of regret that, or I shouldn't have gone in that direction. Letting go of personal criticism means less stress carried into your personal life. You'll feel more in control of your emotions and you'll have more energy to focus on what matters. So start creating that work life fulfillment that you've been craving. So every week I share a 1 week rule. And this is about taking action now because the magic, you'll hear me say this, the magic is in the doing. Which step will help you the most right now? Is it pause before reacting, look for the lesson, or detach your worth from your role? Which one of those do you think that would be most helpful to you? And lastly, I want to leave you with a pro thinking tip. Learning not to take things personally is worth the effort. The payoff is more fulfillment, freedom, and joy in your work and in your life. You will feel lighter, you will feel more present, and you'll feel more in control. So that's it for this week's Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. I am so glad that you're here. And if you're watching this on the replay and you want to put a comment in, please do. I will respond to all of them. So that's it. And have an enjoyable week.